AFTV, James, what can we... I don't even know. Man. Shocking. Burnley at home. When you was doing the stats before, we're looking at it, these guys, they've only won one game this season. But even with that, you were still at the game saying, so you still before the game saying, probably, I don't know with this team. And yet again, Arsenal did Arsenal. They are appalling at the moment.
Yeah, there are a lot of problems at the club. I was hopeful that the manager wasn't one of them and that he was one who could, that maybe he was a shining light amongst all the shit at the club, that he was one of the things that was going to, you know, when backed, when given what he wanted, when given time, was going to make things better. And my faith is very, very, very quickly diminishing.
Is it time to change the manager?
The thing that makes it difficult to answer, there's people in the background laughing because, you know, part of me, of course I feel that frustration.
Is it difficult to answer?
No, I'll tell you why.
If you look at his record at the moment,
yeah,
since the start of the season, it's shocking.
It is absolutely
Last
shocking.
season, without hesitation, everybody was like, Emery, nah, go. Right? Apart from Ty, right? What makes this different?
I think, no, it doesn't make it different. But I think what I've realised with another 12 months and another manager and another process and another set of changes at board level and all this stuff, what I've realised is that there are so many problems at the club, from the players, from the way we recruit, from everything, that if, and I said this to Ty downstairs, in a perfect world, I wouldn't get rid of Arteta. I'd get rid of 10 to 15 of the squad, and I'd promote 5-6 youngsters, and I'd give him another 10 players he wants, and I'd see what he can do. But the problem is, football doesn't work like that. Nope. Fixtures don't wait. You can't pause them and say, look, can we do them after January? You can't do that. So you need to do something to reinvigorate the team now, and unfortunately, the best way to do that is to change the manager. Where Arteta has kind of escaped blame from me in some ways, and not all completely escaped blame, but where I've been patient is because I've been looking at these players who've let him down time and time again, and other managers, whatever. But today, I tweeted that I was disgusted with the 11 because Bellerin was in it again, and Xhaka was in it again, and Ceballos, the only one who seems to have a bit of, and I know a lot of people don't rate Ceballos, but I think he suffers from everything around him. Someone who's got a little bit of like skill, tenacity, a bit of invention, something, wasn't in the 11, and the guys who keep letting him down have now both got themselves suspended for the next game. I mean, it's poetry. You couldn't write it, honestly. And that's all on Arteta. That's all him. He chose to stick by them. He chose to not... He keeps talking about the non-negotiables. Well, it's quite evident they don't exist, does it? Because some players have been treated extremely harshly for their mistakes, and others keep making mistakes and keep getting in the team. I'm really lost for words. I really am.
If this was any other of the big clubs...
Yeah.
Would he still be in a job right
now? No, I don't think he would. I think he'd be gone.
So why are we keeping him?
Yeah, it's a very fair question. Maybe we
I'm
shouldn't.
asking it.
Maybe we shouldn't.
If
I'm lost for words. I'm genuinely, yeah.
If Allegri's people
get
on the phone tomorrow and say, you know what, we fancy that Arsenal job, or Pochettino's people get on the phone tomorrow and say, Edu, or whoever, Stan, I don't even know who runs Arsenal anymore.
They're all part of the problem, quite frankly, yeah.
We fancy the job. Would you sack, if you was in charge, would you sack him? I know these are hard questions to ask. I have to ask them.
I mean, I'm not sure this is exactly what you're asking, but I personally wouldn't take Allegri because I think a lot of these managers that we'd like to see will also need similar backing. Will also need
experience.
Yeah, they're
to get through a situation, because we're basically, let's just look at this right now. Mikel Arteta, this is his first ever managerial job. He's never managed before. He's not like other managers like Pochettino. He started off at Southampton before he went to Tottenham, right? You've got many other managers, they've had to do their apprenticeship.
Yeah.
He hasn't done an apprenticeship. He's never been in a crisis before. Even when he was at Manchester City, you know, they don't really have those sort of crises. You're number two. This is a crisis. This is where sometimes you need an experienced manager. Like you said there, he might have to take out a couple of players, even big players, like maybe even Aubameyang or Just say, you know what? Out you come for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try something different just to get things going again. At the moment, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing where a turnaround's going to come from.
And I agree with you. And I think in the short term, all these things, you're right. I think they would work. Yeah.
So maybe an Allegri with a guy with experience who's been around the block, who say he's seen these sort of things before and may know how to navigate this. Doesn't look like Arteta's.
But look, if you got rid of Arteta tomorrow and you brought in Allegri, who you keep saying, or Nagelsmann or Hasenhüttl or Conte, whoever you want, I think they would get some more out of this team, and I think they do well for a couple months and actually climb the table and maybe do something reminiscent of what Arteta did when he came in. I do think you'd have that, but it's a short-term fix, and we'll have the same long-term problems, which is an owner who doesn't give our managers a serious backing, a sort of board-level team who don't know what earth they're doing. They don't know how to recruit properly. Thomas Partey, the release clause was there to be paid. Why did we wait till 4 games into the Premier League season to do it? There are so many problems. Yes, we can do something that short term will work, but in the long term, there are so many more problems. And so that's
maybe that's where you need an experienced guy who can stand up.
Yeah, and then in a year's time,
stand up to the management and say, well, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
You said to leave out Ozil, but hold on, you haven't replaced him with no one. So no, we're gonna have to go with it.
Yeah, but we've seen a lot of.
Has Arteta got that authority to do that?
No, I don't think he does.
These are the sort of things I'm talking. A manager who might turn around and say, well, hold on a minute, no, we're putting Saliba in.
Yeah.
Or, these are some of his decisions.
No, and I want to touch on those in a second, actually. But to answer your question, no, I don't think Arteta's got that authority. I also don't think the people upstairs would ever hire anyone who dares have that authority. So for all my problems with Arteta and how he's managing this team right now, I still come back to the team upstairs are the main problem. They are the problems that are sucking the life out of this club. Yep. And Arteta, he's not looking the right man at the moment. He's making lots of errors. It's not Edu or Vinay or Stan who picked Xhaka in the team today. That's on Arteta. But it is on them that Arteta didn't have the midfielders he wanted and maybe feels he's got to go with players like Xhaka. Because
when he came in, he said this is guy.
Yeah, I know, which is disgraceful. But actually, now I want to go on to the other bit, which is where I have lost faith in Arteta, is it's one thing saying Ozil's out for footballing reasons, I don't want him. It's another saying Guendouzi's discipline, I'm not having that at the club. You can kind of put up with one or two. But now we're hearing, it's rumours, I don't want to stress it's rumours. There's rumours that Saliba's not all that happy. We don't really know what's going on there. There's rumours that he might be looking to be sold. We've just heard from Chris Wheatley at Football London that there's basically problems in the dressing room and David Luiz and Arteta are apparently not on speaking terms anymore. There's a lot of problems. Aubameyang doesn't look happy. We saw the way he addressed that Instagram interview before the North London derby. There are a lot of players with their head down who look helpless, lost.
So
and that is all on the manager.
So
that is all on the manager.
Experienced guy.
Yeah.
An experienced guy. You've got a lot of, there's a lot of managers, right, that are managing clubs where the board, the board are not the greatest board in the world.
Yeah.
That's where you need the experience.
A Hasenhüttl could come in and be given like a £10 million budget and do really well with it.
I'm not on about Hasenhüttl. I'm on about someone who's been around the block. This is Arsenal Football Club, right? They need an experienced guy, possibly.
I know, but I think they'd have the same problems. So, say we got Jose Mourinho, I think he'd be calling out all those players and picking all the same fights, maybe with different players, because he's also not happy with the group. So look, I hear exactly what you're saying. Arteta doesn't have any credit in the bank to show, well, look, I've turned it around before, so why should we have faith? And I completely get all that, but at the same time, he's got his own problems. And I think a lot of people have turned now, and I think are saying, you know what, you've lost me now. I can't get on board with your selections, the style of football, all these things. But
he's losing the fans?
I think he is. Yeah, I really think he is. But mark my words, if you want to get rid of Arteta, I'm not against that. I've got to be honest, I've got to that stage. I do like the bloke. I thank him for everything he's done. The FA Cup was superb. And the way he spoke about the club and what it meant to him, I really believe that was all true. And I think he's learned a lot from this job. However, I just don't think you can carry on with these results, with these selection decisions without getting seriously criticised. And despite all that, whether he stays or goes, I'm kind of indifferent now. whether he stays or goes, we need serious investment in this team. And that is the only way out of this problem. Just a complete rethink from top to bottom. Recruitment, the people running the club, getting a real director of football, all that. And what you do with Arteta is kind of neither here nor there, really, until those things are sorted.